Have you ever felt overwhelmed, drained, or even resentful because you couldn't say no to someone? Or maybe you've experienced burnout because you kept pushing your limits for work, friends, or family? Well, you're not alone, and there's science to explain why this happens. Welcome to Sensual, and in today's video, we're going to explore the importance of setting boundaries, backed by psychology and neuroscience. And I'll share some simple, practical strategies that you can start using right away. So stick around because this could be the key to improving your mental health and relationships. The science of setting boundaries, why you need them, and how to do it. Let's start with the science. Why are boundaries so important for our well-being? Our brains are wired to respond to stress. Studies show that when we feel overwhelmed or overcommitted, the brain activates the amygdala, the part responsible for the fight or flight response. But here's the catch: if we're constantly feeling this way, our bodies release cortisol, a stress hormone, which can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even physical health problems like high blood pressure and weakened immunity. And guess what? People who set clear boundaries experience lower stress levels and report feeling more in control of their lives. Now let's talk about the flip side. What happens when you don't set boundaries? Studies show that lack of boundaries can lead to mental fatigue, resentment, and burnout. In relationships, it often leads to feelings of being undervalued or even manipulated. In fact, research published in the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology found that people who struggle to say no at work are more likely to suffer from work-life imbalance, which directly impacts mental health. So if you've ever felt stretched too thin, it's not your imagination. It's your brain and body crying out for balance. Okay, now let's move into the practical part. How can you set boundaries effectively without feeling guilty? Here are 3 simple, research-backed tips. Tip number 1, the I statement method. Instead of saying "you're asking too much of me," try saying, "I need some time to recharge so I can give my best." Studies show that using I statements reduces defensiveness and improves communication. Tip number 2, time blocking. Research suggests that scheduling personal time, like adding it to your calendar, can make it easier to enforce boundaries. You're less likely to cave when you see it written down. Tip number 3, saying no with alternatives. Sometimes it's hard to just say no, so try offering an alternative. For example, "I can't make it this evening, but I'd love to catch up next week." This strategy maintains relationships while protecting your time and energy. Comment below, what boundaries are you setting in your life? You might think boundaries push people away, but in reality, they can actually strengthen relationships. Psychologist Dr. Henry Cloud explains that boundaries help define what is you and what is not you, allowing for healthier interdependence rather than codependency. By being clear about what you can and can't offer, you create trust and prevent misunderstandings. So to recap, boundaries aren't selfish, they're essential. They protect your mental health, improve your relationships, and even boost productivity. And the best part? You can start setting them today. Remember, setting boundaries doesn't mean shutting people out, it means letting them in, but on terms that work for both of you. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more sensual content like this, and share it with someone who might need it. Let's pick sense from nonsense, one boundary at a time. Like, comment, and subscribe for more sensual content.